We got a lot of Southern soul listens in the house, so I know y'all know what gospel quartet music is, okay? Um, but yeah, so right now I'm just making my way around the Southern soul circuit. Really trying to get records out there, get the brand out there, and just put out great music for real.
Well, that's really important. Putting out great music. I
Yeah.
tell a lot of artists that, a lot of writers, producers. One time, a local artist came to me and said, "Man, how can I really get out there? How can I really, really get out there?" I said, first of all, you have to have good music. You got to have a beat that resonate with the people. You have to
Right.
have that storyline that resonate with the people. I'll give an example like this. I'm in comedy. I've been in comedy for a little while now, promoting comedy shows. And I say, if you go to a comedy show and the comic is white, the majority of the audience is white. Everybody is laughing, but you're sitting there because you don't get the joke.
Right.
And that's just because the material that the comedian is talking about does not resonate with you. You're not familiar with it. You can't identify with it.
Right.
So if you have music that the people can identify with, you're going to be successful.
For sure. Most definitely.
You're definitely going to be successful.
Yeah.
Now, I know for a fact, since I know you personally, that you're an artist,
Mhm.
you write.
Right.
Now, do you produce also?
Yeah. Well, yeah, yes. The shorter answer to that is yes, and I want to kind of break that down on what I mean. I'm not a beat maker, but technically, what the term producer is, it's either the person that funds the project, the person that has figured out a way to bring all of these different elements together. You know what I mean, to make a great piece of work. So sometimes that may mean me going to seek out the artist, you know what I mean, or going to find a producer that makes sense for this project that I know is gonna give me what I need. But that just ultimately means just being a student of the game, knowing how to activate certain pieces together. Um, and how to build that relationship, you know what I mean, to where a good business relationship to where people want to do this type of business with you. Or as a writer, it's important for me to have those perfect marriages with a producer because they really go hand in hand. You know what I mean? If a producer is trying to get his catalog out there, sometimes you have people say, that's not a good beat. But if you got a good writer or a person that knows where you're trying to go, they can say, well, you know what if we just adjust this sound? They can really give you that constructive feedback to get where we're trying to go and then make a great song to it. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, just really having that line of communication and understanding with your team. For
Okay.
sure. Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you had to choose between the two, a writer or an artist, which
Hmm.
one would you go for?
A writer is an artist. Writing is art because, and me and Anthony Q had this conversation all the time. Shout out to him. Um, I can't sing the same songs that you gonna sing. You know what I mean? Even though I have a perspective or a story that I want to tell, um, some stories aren't to be told from my vessel. And I think that's the beautiful thing about a writer. It's like a cat having 9 lives. I may not reach the people the way that Anthony Q may reach the people, or I may not reach the fans the way that a Bodacious can reach the fans. You see what I'm saying? So it's like it's all it is art altogether. At the end of the
I
day.
agree that it is
So you
all
want to talk
art,
about maybe like a
but
performer, a
there
performer
there there
versus
are
a writer?
singers that cannot write. I've
Yeah,
interviewed plenty
right.
of them. They said, "Well, no, I can sing,
Yeah.
but I can't write." But if you had to choose between the two, which one would you prefer to do?
All right.
You prefer to write?
Yeah.
Because in this industry, for as music or entertainment period, you have a lot of people, I say,
Mhm.
out there that they write and then eventually
Mhm.
they get around to performing. But a lot of them have started out writing first.
Yeah.
It's a number of them out there, uh, and I'm sure there's plenty of writers that maybe like me can't sing a note. I can write,
Right. Yeah.
but they can't sing a note. Now, in the beginning for you, did you get started in a church anywhere, or did that influence you at all in what you're doing now?
Well, I didn't do. So let me say this. I got into music later on. Initially, I was a college athlete. I played basketball for a lot of my,
What
early
position you play?
years. Shooting guard, baby.
You was a shooting
You know what I'm
guard,
saying? We
really?
from Memphis, and Memphis is a
Memphis a
heavy
basketball
basketball
town.
culture,
Oh yeah, Memphis a
and
basketball
it's
town.
serious too. Okay, you fighting at the games and everything. Period.
Mm-hmm.
But I got into music after my college basketball career, so I was like 22, 23. So I was a little bit behind. You know what I mean? Like as a person who knew that I wanted to do more. Like I didn't want to just be the artist. You know what I'm saying? Like I had more that I wanted to give, creatively. And so I started on more so on the rap scene in Memphis just because of the culture that I was in. When I got off more into soul music as I grew up a little bit and spent more time, in the country, it was like I just felt like more connected. I felt like I was able to, like I had permission to, for one, age as a woman. It's so many things about soul music that I love that really push me more in that direction than staying kind of in the rap culture that I was initially turned on to, in Memphis. So, it just kind of grew from there.
So let me ask you, in high school or in college, were you a great writer then?
I didn't write.
You didn't write?
Let me say this. I didn't start off writing. Okay. I would, write little stuff, but that wasn't my focus. So when I first came into the industry, I went through David Porter's program, the consortium. And then from there, I started working with my team that I have in Atlanta. Shout out to Philly, the voice man, big writer, Usher, K. Michelle, super, super great writer. And we came in contact, he wanted to work with me as an artist. I let him do a lot of the writing. Okay. You know what I mean? I sat back and I didn't feel insulted. I didn't feel intimidated because I knew it was so much to learn. You know what I mean? So I sat back and I learned. We worked in the studio together. And then eventually, when Southern Soul started to buzz more, I was like, okay, I think I can take the wheel on this, So, just knowing and appreciating how the cultures of music, the trends of music can change, because now a lot of my team in Atlanta, they calling me in on sessions like, yo, Atlantic signing this artist, he's do Southern Soul. So they signing this artist, we need you over here. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Okay, that sounds real good right there. Tell you what, now we're going to take another break here. And when we come back, what's a song that you have written that we could play?
Stand on My Love by Anthony Q.
Stand on My Love by Anthony Q. This is the Tate Jones Show, and we'll be right back. We'll be right back with Stand on My Love by Anthony Q, written by Ashley Ave.
Yeah.
All right, all right, all right. Oh, yeah, I like that song. We play it already on the station, so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got to give you that credit, for that song. So what inspired you to write that song?
What inspired the song? So Anthony was actually the first artist that I ever wrote for. So I always give him his flowers because of how he was open to me. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people, they're like, I write my own stuff, regardless of if they're a good writer or not, okay? But, he really opened up, his life to me in that space. But I saw what he was doing with, what was that first record to know me is to love me, but it's right. So I was like, okay, I see what he's doing. And it's the fact that, he was from Memphis, so he was accessible to me, you know what I mean, more than, and the thing is, there are some good Southern Soul artists in Memphis, but really, a lot of them are, from the Mississippi's and the Carolinas, we don't have such a big, we don't have such a big community, you know what I mean, of Southern Soul artists, just right here in Memphis.
You said we don't have a big community?
Not a real big community.
Compared to who?
Compared to like the Carolinas.
The Carolinas, that's two states now. We're talking about one city.
But
let's make apples to apples. Guys, you might not know, but Memphis has a huge, rich heritage.
Okay.
When it comes to music, period. And we will blow the Carolinas away. If we want to go back through history, I'll go through it with you, but Memphis got a lot of folks here.
We do have a lot of people here, but what I'm saying is, how many Southern Soul shows do we have, you know what I mean, to where that's really a part of our industry economically here when it comes to Memphis? I don't really see that.
Well, there's a lot of shows coming to Memphis and this tri-state area, because we are in a tri-state area.
Right.
Now, so we got Northern Mississippi, Eastern Arkansas, and of course here in Memphis, and there's a lot of artists here. And so now, for trail riding things, I would say they're outside of Memphis. They're trying to come this way. You know, we want to help facilitate that.
Right.
But the trail riding side of it, but right outside, I mean, we talking about neighbors of Memphis, in the suburbs of Memphis,
I
you know.
know, and
So, what
that's
city in particular are you talking about? And you said Carolina. That's two whole states. So, what
uh
city are you talking about in particular? Because I want to make this comparison here since you brought it up. What city in Carolinas, the Carolinas, are you talking about that's huge in Southern Soul?
well, um, Greenville.
So, who do they have in
Um,
Greenville? You said Greenville, South Carolina, or North Carolina? I don't know which one
well,
it is.
so where is so wait no okay so Shamika. Oh, this is a great thing. Shamika is actually from North Carolina, right?
Okay.
But she's more so breaking in South Carolina. So what
What
I'm
city?
saying is,
You mentioned the whole state now.
I am gonna make it a state because I mean it's still it's one of them things where they have so many states that where these events and everything are taking place, or there's DJs over here in this city, but still they still coagulate together, and I don't feel that Memphis does that same type of work when it comes to like us being working together. That has just been my
Yeah, I have to
experience.
disagree with you.
That's been my experience as an artist, from an artist perspective, and as a writer. Okay,
Mhm.
I just know that I always find myself having to reach so far on the outside for whatever their reason is. You know what I mean? They just seem a lot more receptive to me in some type of ways. Now I can say that there is definitely a community of people that I have encountered lately, especially with this whole line dancing wave, which I had to, kind of ignite that, you know what I mean, on my own. And the people are coming, but when it was just me pushing the music down their throat, nah, I don't feel like, I feel like it was a lot of us trying to just build small boats as opposed to wanting to build a big ship and move together. That's been my experience.
Okay, okay. So, and you said in Greenville, okay. What's going on in Greenville? Tell me about that.
Why we gotta talk about Greenville? Cause personally, I'm planning a trip to the Carolinas. You know what I mean? Well, to South Carolina specifically. Hopefully, I can get out there for a King George back to school event. But you know, what I mean, at the end of the day, for me to, I have to go and actually spend my time over there to even see what the layout of the land is like. But what I'm saying is these artists that are popping up on these that are popping up in Southern Soul every other day, it's saturated over there in the Carolinas.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay. So,
DJs, they definitely they kind of coagulate together.
you said what?
That
You
whole
said DJ. Okay. Okay.
DJs, yeah, for sure. So
Now, which DJ is out that way? It's not DJ Trucker, is it?
nah,
Is it Dirty?
Dirty, yeah, Dirty out there. Pay Me out there,
Okay.
yeah,
I heard. Yeah, I met Dirty in Atlanta back in March,
right,
and Trucker at an event out there.
yeah.
Okay.
And see, I've never, I haven't met these people up close and personal yet.
Okay.
The DJs, so to say. So yeah, but definitely, I'm tough at building virtual relationships. So my name is definitely in the place. So we working on it.
Okay. All right. So we played this song by Anthony Q. Tell us some other songs that you may have or people you may have wrote for.
Okay. One of the most recent, well, not most recent, but so I just kind of go in order from Anthony Q. It was Bodacious, Big Bo, the big old horse.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we got the first two singles, you know what I mean, on her. So that and Good Thing, super great records. Y'all go check those out. And then here recently, I just put out, man, two great records on my god sister, Sharisi Mackey, Southern Soul Train, which is the one that's our viral sensation right now. And then the first one that we put out was called Stuck, more of a classic soul R&B feel. So yeah,
Okay. Okay. Now, give me her name again.
Sharisi.
Charisse. Okay.
And one
Okay.
of the she's done some stuff with Jacqueline Carr. Um, did a lot of stuff for the BB Keys cruise ship. I mean, so she's really, when I say just a flat foot performer, you know what I mean, and just whole beats of her own. Yeah, gonna be Sharisi. So it's definitely something special.
Oh, that sounds good. It sounds
Yeah,
real good. Now, we like to definitely elevate the local artists here at Power 104. I'm pretty sure we play more local artists than any other station in
for
the
sure,
city.
definitely.
And so we always like to help promote artists, writers, producers to get them to that national platform, which you can always go to the internet and do it. But doing it on FCC airway is a little bit different, you know.
Right.
A lot of artists don't realize, you know, streaming and lights, that's one thing. But when you get to terrestrial,
Yeah.
terrestrial radio,
Right.
that's a whole nother income right there.
For
So,
sure.
you know, you can get likes and everything, but if you're really trying to get paid and get those spin, terrestrial radio is where it's at. You can ask any artist, I would say R&B artist that's been out there for a while, they look at those spins. And I don't think you get that online. I think you might get the streaming, but
Right.
from my understanding, that streaming you got to have so many to even make any money.
Most definitely.
So terrestrial radio is definitely where it's at. That's why I want to start this radio station to help elevate the local artists, you know,
Right.
and raise them to another platform to give them another avenue to get out there. Because even when you're doing a show as a promoter, you know, you can have followers, but those followers don't always equate to butts in the seat.
For sure.
So that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
So okay, now we talked about you writing. Now let's talk about you as an artist singing.
Okay. Yeah. So I started out in R&B, and then, but even then, I felt like my sound was a little more soul than where R&B was at the time. You know, it was a lot of like styles that were more on a melodic rap, or like what's it, like, you know, a SZA or Janae Aiko. You know, it was a little more
Mm-hmm.
of that type of versus I'm a lot deeper on the soul side. And so when I got into doing more soul and southern soul music, I decided to put out my first EP, all, you know, written and everything by me, called My Southern Soul.
My
And
Southern
that,
Soul.
yeah, My Southern Soul, and that featured Keep My Man, Party on the Dooley, and so many just good records that remind me of being, you know, home, or a lot of my impact in Memphis was more so from the project community. So you get a lot of like down home blues, you know. So it's a good, you know, just mixture of Mississippi, as I like to call it.
Okay.
Yeah, so you know, I just, you know, pretty much put that joint out there, let it ride, and you know, then switch back over and, you know, started focusing more, you know, on the writing. But I really wanted to put out a body of work, because I do feel like, you know, as an artist or a writer, it's important to still put out bodies of work. Like a lot of people don't put out bodies of work anymore. And I understand that, you know, we in more of an instant type of time and world now, you know, just put out singles. But a body of work says, okay, I can tell a story from the beginning to the end, or I know what it's like to put sounds together, you know what I mean, or take the listeners on a journey. So, yeah.
All right. So on that EP you put out, which one is your favorite song?
Keep My Man, that was my first Southern Soul release. So I think it's always something about that first one that just kind of, you know, live in your heart a little bit. So, yeah.
All right. Well, we can ready to take a break right here, and when we come back, we're gonna play "Keep My Man"
Keep My Man
by Ashley Ave. So y'all stay locked right here for our last segment right here on the Tate Jones Show, Power 104.1, The Source. And we are back. Yeah, I like that actually. That's good. I like that. So
Thank
now,
you.
was there a personal situation going on with you where you had to talk about keeping your man?
You know, I wanted to just, that was my note to the women, because nowadays, you know, women, especially black women, we're known for being such like independent creatures, so to say, right? Or we can get this reputation of being so strong, or uh, having attitudes or whatever. And I say, you know, I want to write a song, you know, for us women that just remind us to be soft again, you know, learning how to, you know, just take care of our partner in a certain type of way. Because see, the song says we don't argue about small things. You got to know how to put your foot down in them pinto beans like he like. That's going to keep that man, okay, for 30 years. Even if he get a side piece, he coming back. He ain't going nowhere.
Wait till a man's heart is in his stomach. I've heard
Yeah.
that many times before. I can say that could possibly be true right there.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So now, what projects are you working on? What projects do you have coming up?
Okay. Well, So I have a new partnership with the Memphis River Parks, and to bring an event, a free event for the city called Stepping on the River. Um, Man, so it's basically it's a three-part event, um, June, July, and August. So on the last Wednesdays of the month in Tom Lee Park, we'll have a free event that's totally concentrated on line dancing. And I wanted to create an event like this because for one, stepping just brings people together. Line dances brings people together. It controls the energy of the room. So we even have what you call the YNs. Baby, they be out there stepping with the old women. You feel me? And that's the type of unity that we need,
Now, what does that stand for? YN?
YN?
Yeah.
You don't know what the YN stand for?
I'm sorry.
I don't know if I can say it on the air, but it's young.
Oh.
Okay, we call it a YN. Okay.
Okay. Educate us older folks there. I'm trying to blend the age gaps in the generation, so sometimes you have to educate me on that. Okay, I got you.
We get scared of the YNs now. They walk past you, clenching your purse and stuff. But man, line dancing just reminds us that we are all people. You know what I mean? We all have soul. We all have a heart. You know what I mean? And it all needs some work.
So the next date for your event is
July the 30th.
July the 30th.
July 30th, okay? And then the last
What time does it start?
6 p.m.
6 p.m. 6 to 8.
Yes.
And what's the location?
Tom Lee Park. It's right there on Riverside Drive. Y'all know where we got the new basketball courts and
Correct.
all that. That's where we're going to be at. Right there up under there. So you ain't got to worry about the sun, none of that.
Now, are there going to be vendors out there?
They're going to be vendors, live DJ, which I hate when people say live DJ because, DJ is live. But yeah, vendors, DJs, and stepping. And that's it.
Sounds like a plan right there. Sounds
Yeah.
like a plan. Now, you have had one already last month in June. How did that one go?
Man, it was amazing. So I sold out the capacity of that event, which I was only able to do 200 people because we kind of made that one, we labeled it as a pop-up just because it was our first one and we wanted to see, how it went, crowd control, all of those type of things. But when I say people showed up, they showed up on time. You know what I mean? And they stayed the whole time. It was a great health experience. So that I'm gonna start there, and that was really one of the reasons that I wanted to, really do this and make it free for the community.
That's what I was going to ask you. I said, let's make sure everything is clear because you said you sold it out.
Well, yeah, sold it out meaning that I only made 200 tickets available.
Okay.
Okay, so all of those free events, all of those free tickets on Eventbrite.
Free.
Out.
So are you saying you need to go to Eventbrite to get your free ticket?
Yeah, go to Eventbrite, get your free ticket. We'll let people in at the gate, of course, but I want to urge everybody to go to Eventbrite and or RSVU a few tickets because that, as a business person, it helps me get that fan information and data so that I can retarget y'all and really let y'all, keep y'all in the loop on what's going on Ashley Avenue.
So what do they look up on Eventbrite?
Stepping on the River, and that's Stepping STEPP''N.
Right,
Stepping on the River.
We might have to try to make that next one. You said it's July the 30th from 6 to 8 at Tom Lee Park, and that's the last Wednesday in July.
Yes, and the last Wednesday in August.
Okay.
So bring your kids, bring your lawn chairs, bring your parents, grandparents, all that. Carrying on.
that sounds like a young man that I met in Atlanta back in March. His name is Nephew Jones. You familiar with him?
Yes, that's my type of carrying on.
That's his type of carrying on. That is definitely his type of carrying on.
Yeah.
Well, as we get ready to end the interview here, Ashley, I always tell everybody, there's a lot of fake pages out there.
Yeah.
So if anybody want to follow Ashley Ave, tell them where they need to go.
Y'all can follow me on Facebook at Ashley Ave Music, and that's everywhere across all platforms. Instagram, YouTube. Make sure y'all subscribe to me on YouTube and check out the music videos because that's a whole different experience. And if y'all not already, stream me, follow me on Spotify, Apple Music, etc., etc. And that's Ashley Ave, like the street.
All right, then, Ashley, I really appreciate you coming to the Power Studios today. Tate Jones on the microphone. Say it with me now, Ashley. Tate Jones on the microphone. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Power 104.1, the Source, Memphis #1 Southern Soul and R&B station. Until next Sunday, I'll see ya.